Hey, what is up guys, welcome back. Captain here, back with another interesting video. So in this video we take a look the top 10 best 90 Hz display refresh rate smartphone. These smartphone, if you are love the smooth and you play a lots of gaming, so these smartphone is best for you. So let's start the 90 Hz top 10 best smartphone. The number one best 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone is the Oppo Reno 4 Pro. Oppo Reno 4 Pro launched in this year, in this month June, and this phone has a 6.55 inch 1080p by 2400 pixel LCD, and this smartphone has the AMOLED capacitive touchscreen, 16 million colors, and screen to body ratio is 89.5% and 402 ppi density. This smartphone has the 90 Hz refresh rate with a 500 nits type value advertised. So this is the HDR10 Plus and Gorilla Glass 6 display, and it has a really amazing smartphone. This is the number one 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. The other specification is 8 gigabytes and 12 gigabytes RAM with a 128 gigabytes and 256 gigabytes storage, and it has 3 cameras, 48 megapixel, 13 megapixel and 12 megapixel camera, 4000 mAh battery with a fast charging 65 volt, and with a super VOOC 2.0 charger. Number second best 90 Hz refresh rate display smartphone is the Vivo X50 Pro. This smartphone launched in this year in previous month in June, and this smartphone has a 6.57 inch big screen with 1080p by 2376 pixel. This smartphone has a 19.6 screen to body ratio and HDR10 Plus with a 90 Hz refresh rate, Snapdragon 765G with octa-core 2.4 gigahertz processor, and the other specification is 128 and 256 gigabyte storage with 8 gigs of RAM and UFS 2.1 storage. 4 cameras, 48 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 13 megapixel and 8 megapixel another cameras, 50x digital zoom and 4K video recording. The battery is 4315 mAh battery with a fast charging 33 volts. So this is the second best 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. By the way, if you want to buy any of these 10 smartphone, the link in the description, go and check it out on Amazon affiliate link. The number third phone in this list is the Realme X50 Pro player. This smartphone launched in previous month in June 2020, and this smartphone has 6.44 inch 1080p by 2400 pixel big screen with 94.9 screen to body ratio and 409 ppi density with a 90 Hz refresh rate, HDR10 Plus, Snapdragon 865 and 6, 8 and 12 gigabytes with a 128 gigabyte storage, UFS 3.1. The battery of this smartphone has a 4200 mAh and 65 watt super fast charging. 4 camera on the back side, 48 megapixel, 8 megapixel and 2 megapixel cameras. The number 4 phone is the OnePlus 7 Pro. This is one of the great smartphone in 90 Hz refresh rate. This smartphone launched in 2019 in May, and this smartphone has a 6.67 inch big screen with 1440 by 3120 pixel. This smartphone has a 88.1% screen to body ratio, 516 ppi density with HDR10 Plus and 90 Hz refresh rate, Snapdragon 855, Adreno 640, and this smartphone has a 6 gigs, 8 gigs and 12 gigs RAMs with 128 to 256 gigabytes of storage, UFS 3.0. 3 cameras on the back side, 48 megapixel, 8 megapixel, 16 megapixel 4K video recording, and the front facing camera is the Motorola 16 megapixel pop-up camera. The battery is 4000 mAh with a fast charging 30 watt and rapid charging as well. So this is the number 4th 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. By the way, in this video I use some video clips of other content creators, so credit goes of these clips I use in my video to official owners. The number 5th smartphone in this list is the latest Huawei P40 Pro. This phone launched in this year in April. This smartphone has a 6.58 inch big screen with 1200 by 2640 pixel screen. This smartphone has a 91.6 screen to body ratio and 441 ppi density with HDR10, Note 10 Plus and 90 Hz refresh rate. Kirin 995G chipset used in this smartphone with octa-core 2.86 GHz, and this smartphone has a 128, 256 and 512 GB storage variant with 8 GB of RAM, UFS 3.0 storage. The battery of this smartphone has 4200 mAh battery with a fast charging 40 watt. 4 cameras on the back side, 50 megapixel wide, 12 megapixel periscope, 40 megapixel ultra wide and TOF 3D camera, 4K at 60 fps and slow motion at 7680 fps in 720p. So this is the fifth 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. The number 6 smartphone is Google Pixel 4 XL, one of the great 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. This smartphone launched in 2019 in October. 6.3-inch big screen with a 1440 by 3040 pixel, and this smartphone has a 81.3% screen to body ratio, 537 ppi density with a Gorilla Glass 5 and HDR and 90 Hz refresh rate. Snapdragon 855 with a 2.84 GHz octa-core processor. This smartphone has a 2 storage variant, 64 and 128 GB with a 6 GB RAM and UFS 2.1 storage. 2 cameras on the backside, 12.2 megapixel and 16 megapixel, 4K at 30 fps video recording. The battery of this smartphone has a 3700 mAh battery, fast charging 18 watts. So this is the great number 6 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. The number 7th best smartphone in 90 Hz refresh rate list is the OnePlus 8. Yes, this smartphone launched in this year in April. 6.55-inch big screen with a 1080p by 2400 pixel big screen, and this smartphone has the HDR10 Plus with the Gorilla Glass 5 and 88.7% screen to body ratio, 402 ppi density and 20:9 ratio. This smartphone has a Snapdragon 865 with octa-core 2.84 GHz processor, 2 storage variant available, 128 GB with 8 GB RAM and 256 GB with a 12 GB of RAM. UFS 3.0, 3 cameras on the backside, 48 megapixel, 16 megapixel and 2 megapixel camera. The video recording is 4K at 60 fps, and this smartphone has a 4300 mAh battery with a fast charging 30 watt. This fast charger can fill 50% battery in just 22 minutes. So this is the number 7 best 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone is the OnePlus 8. The number 8 smartphone in this list in 90 Hz refresh rate is the Motorola H Plus. This smartphone launched in this year with a 5G connectivity. This smartphone has 6.7-inch big screen with a 1080p by 2340 pixel. This smartphone has a 90 Hz refresh rate with HDR10 Plus, 90:5:9 aspect ratio and 385 ppi density, 95.8% screen to body ratio. This is one of the great smartphones from Motorola. Snapdragon 865 chipset with octa-core 2.84 GHz processor, 256 GB with 12 GB of RAM, UFS 3.0 storage, and also 108 megapixel one camera, 8 megapixel second camera, 16 megapixel third, and TOF 3D the fourth camera. 6K at 30 fps video recording. This smartphone has a 5000 mAh big battery with a fast charging 18 watts. So this is number 8 best 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. The number 9 smartphone in this list is the Nubia Red Magic 3. This smartphone launched in last year in 2019 in May. This smartphone has a 6.65-inch big screen with a 1080p by 2340 pixel density, and this smartphone has a 90 Hz refresh rate. This smartphone has a 388 ppi density with a 80.5 screen to body ratio. This smartphone has a Snapdragon 855 chipset with a 2.84 GHz octa-core processor. This smartphone has a 64, 128 and 256 GB storage with 6, 8 and 12 GB RAM. One camera on the backside is a 48 megapixel, and this camera can record 8K video at 15 fps. This smartphone has a 5000 mAh battery with a fast charging 18 watt and quick charger 4+. So this is number 9th and second last smartphone in this list. The number 10 and last and the best 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone is the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro. 6.67-inch big screen with a 1080p by 2340 pixel. This smartphone has a 386 ppi density with an 89.8% screen to body ratio. This smartphone has the HDR10 Plus with a 90 Hz refresh rate and 500 nits high brightness. Snapdragon 865 chipset with 256 and 512 gigabytes storage with 8 and 12 gigabytes RAM variant. UFS 3.0 storage, 108 megapixel, 12 megapixel, 8 megapixel and 20 megapixel camera. 4 cameras on the backside, 8K video at 30 fps video recording. The battery of this smartphone has a 4500 mAh battery with a fast charging 50 watts. So this is the number 10th best 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone. So guys, these are the top 10 best 90 Hz refresh rate smartphone in 2020. If you buy any of these smartphone, link in the description, go and check it out and buy. If you like this video, thumbs up and subscribe my channel for more tech videos. I'll see you in my next video guys. Peace out. Bye bye.